What's going on, everybody? David here, and I am in my hotel room in Barranquilla, Colombia. I told you guys I was going to do a live stream, and I tried to do one earlier a couple of days ago, but there was just too much going on, and I couldn't. So I'm finally at a point now where I've started packing all my stuff. I'm going to Medellin tomorrow, so I just kind of wanted to give you a recap of what I've been doing in the last few days. It's been a real good time. So I'll wait wait about a minute for more people to come in, and then once people come in, then we'll get started. If you do come in the live chat, I'm just looking at it right now. The quality is okay. It's not really good. So the internet does look like it's a little slower than it is at home, but that's okay. It's still showing that I should be getting something. As far as you guys should be able to see me and everything. So let's just hope that stays the way it is. So once you come in, just let me know who you are, where you're coming from, and then we'll get started momentarily. So the plans for today, I want to talk a little bit about my trip, so how I got here, and I'll even talk a little bit about the points and everything too, because I think that's important, just so you kind of know how many points I used to get here and how much it costs out of pocket, as well as the hotel that I'm staying in, and then we'll talk a little bit about the parade, and then the block parties and all that, and then I'll show you some of my pictures. I haven't edited these pictures yet, so I do edit all my pictures, but I want to show you guys now, and I don't have time to go through them all right now and edit them, so I'll just show you just pretty much straight out of camera that's what you'll see. So like I said, if you come in, just let me know you're here, and we'll get started. Let's see, let me pop this out really quick here. Make sure everything is good to go. Okay, now the stream looks like it's better now as far as the health. When I say health, if you guys don't know, if you don't do streams, they give you these different color indicators. So green would be good, or like excellent, that's like where you want to be, and then yellow is kind of caution, just it's okay still, but it's not the best quality. And then if it goes into the red, that means that your stream is probably really breaking up. So at this point, it's in the green, so that's good. All right, let's see. Drop this down, and then that guy. What's going on, buddy? And like I said, you come in, just let me know you're here, so I'll know exactly how many people are in here, and then we can get started. I usually don't look at, there's like a little indicator. I don't really look at that because I use a separate software for that, so I'm not really paying attention to it. For whatever reason, that software it's not as accurate as some of the other stuff. Let's see, what am I typing in? I don't know why I'm typing something in. I could just talk to you, that guy. What's going on? Yeah, I'm in Barranquilla right now, and decided to do a live stream so we can talk a little bit about the whole trip and everything. I'm still here, so I'm not going home tomorrow. I'm actually going to Medellin, so I'll be there for the next how long is it? I'm going to be there for the next 5 days. So, and that'll be more of my downtime. I'm still going to do things, and I still have a few things lined up, but as far as this last 4 days, it's been crazy. And you're taking it from a guy who's been around, I used to go to clubs a lot and all that when I was younger. Now I'm up in age, and so I don't go out as much as I used to, but these last 4 days I went out a lot more than than my normal routine, so it was pretty brutal. All right, so let's see, Lionel, what's going on, buddy? All right, so let's just talk about how I got here. So, and I talked about this before in some other live streams, but I might as well tell you guys now, just in case you didn't catch those live streams. So I flew in on Copa Airlines, and I was actually flying. I booked my ticket with United. So for those of you who don't know, United is a Star Alliance partner. So all the Star Alliance airlines are, they're joined together basically. So if I book a flight through United, I might not always be flying on United. I could be flying on other carriers. So in this situation, I was flying on Copa Air. And I flew, it costs 70,000 bonus points plus $290. So that's how much I paid. And now that is a round trip ticket. Actually, there's a stayover in there too, but round trip ticket and yeah, round trip ticket business class. That's what I flew in. Okay, I don't know. I don't know why I'm forgetting this stuff, but I am. So if you guys come in, just let me know you're here. Say hi. Let me know where you're coming from. If you're new to the chat. Okay, so that's what it cost me. 70,000 points plus $290. And Copa Airlines, my flight up here was good. It was now Copa, and I've never no, I did fly on Copa before, but it was economy, so I didn't really expect much. Flying business class, still didn't expect much. The airlines are a little older. Let's just put it that way. It's a 737 800, I think it was, and that's what I was flying on. So it didn't have like a lot of the amenities that a newer plane would have, where they have the screen on the back of the seat in front of you, and just more comfort and stuff like that. Now the seats don't lay all the way back. They do recline. Actually, they recline more than I thought they would. So they recline back enough. Just think if you were in one of these like lazy boy recliners, similar to that. So you can get almost flat. I mean, you could sleep easily on the plane. It wasn't like I slept for maybe about an hour and a half. So you can still sleep on the plane. Nico, what's going on? So you can still do that, but it's one of those deals where I would really want a lie flight. I knew I wasn't getting a lie flight because I always check. I go on Seat Guru. I check to see what my plane looks like and the seating and all that stuff. Now it did have something that I didn't know about. So the seat reclines down and it has a little leg, like a leg thing that comes up. So your legs don't have to be on the ground. You can lift your legs up a little bit and you have kind of like, just like a recliner, like a lazy boy, just like that. It comes up. It doesn't come all the way up, but it comes up enough so your legs aren't your feet aren't touching the ground. So that was good. So I had two legs. One thing that I really will say was great is the Star Alliance lounge in LAX. And I've never been in a Star Alliance lounge before. So if you're flying business class, first class, you can go to the Star Alliance lounge. And that lounge was really nice. It's the nicest lounge I've ever been in was British Airways lounge, and that was in London. This is the second nicest one that I've been in. They had a lot of different things going on. They had the kind of the buffet style, more finger foods though, not like a meal, like a full-on meal. But I guess if you ate enough of them, it'd be a full-on meal, right? So they had some stuff there. Then they had a bar. Now I didn't go to the bar, so I don't know if you had to pay for drinks. But they did have like a fully stocked bar, and they had the game playing. The Lakers were playing, so they had the game on. There's quite a few people in there. And one thing that was really weird, there's quite a few people in there, but it was very, very quiet. And I was all set. I was going to sit down, do like a little review of the lounge, but it was just too quiet. Like if I was doing a review, it would be really weird. So I didn't do one. But that's what kind of shocked me too, is how quiet it was in there. So, and the food, I tasted the food. It wasn't bad. And as far as, let's see, some of the other stuff, let me pull up this chat real quick. Some of the other stuff that I found in the lounge is they had different sections, and I only had 20 minutes. I forgot to tell you that. So I got to the airport a little later than I wanted to, and I only had 20 minutes in the lounge. So I just went in there, got a few bites to eat, walked around, did a little bit of video, and I'll be doing a future video of like the kind of my experience in the lounge, even though I was only there 20 minutes. But it was like on the 6th floor of the Tom Bradley terminal, and so you can look down into the open area down there where they have stores and stuff down below. I wanted to go to P.F. Chang's, and I know someone recommended me to go to P.F. Chang's. I wasn't able to because, like I said, I only had 20 minutes before my plane was boarding, and I wanted to get back when my plane was boarding. So I did like the lounge though, and I will do a video on that, so you guys can take a look at it and see what it's all about. But yeah, very, very nice lounge. So then got in the plane. It was a red-eye flight. I slept like an hour and a half, so I was really tired. By the time I got to Barranquilla, I was tired. And even before then, we had a layover in in Panama. And so I went to Panama, their lounge. I used a Priority Pass lounge, and I already knew what I was getting because I had been there before. So I knew kind of the setup. I didn't eat anything there. As far as, I'll talk about the food in the plane in a minute, but as far as I ate on the plane, so I wasn't hungry. So I just went in the lounge. And did I even get any water or anything? I don't think I even got a drink. I just went in there, sat down, got on the internet, and that was pretty much all I did in there. But it was very crowded, just like it was last time. Seating was very limited, so you really had to, like, all the comfortable seats were taken, and then I found a place to sit, but it was more of like a, it was still a lounge, but it was more of like a, you do work on your computer, you eat. They had like tables there and stuff like that, so it wasn't really a place to kind of really relax. So I was there for about an hour and a half. And then I went back out to the terminal and then boarded the plane and then came out to Barranquilla. So as far as Copa's food, the food on the plane, it wasn't bad. They served breakfast, which I think breakfast is probably one of the harder things to serve because they serve eggs and stuff like that. And eggs are generally pretty hard to heat, like to reheat. At least in my opinion, I don't really like eggs when they're reheated. So they served breakfast. I had like French toast, which I guess has egg in it, but I had French toast. They had omelets too, but I didn't get the omelet. The French toast was actually good. It was really good. Surprisingly, yeah, I was satisfied with the breakfast that they served. And it wasn't that much. I mean, it was like two slices of, or like one slice of French toast just cut in half, so you just had the two little pieces. But it was good. It had like some strawberry kind of what do you call it? Strawberry preserve, I guess. I don't know. Let me see if I think I might have actually taken a picture of it. See if I can pull that up, just so you guys can see. It's not that impressive, but it's food, so we all know food. But the food, yeah, it was better than I anticipated. Let's just say that. And for those of you who just came on, we're going to talk a little bit about the Carnival in Barranquilla, Colombia. And then after that, I'm going to show you some of the pictures that I took. Now, I haven't edited the pictures yet. I will be editing them later. So this is right out of camera. And I'm very picky about pictures. So picky, and I want it to look good. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm going to show you straight out of camera. Actually, I did this a little bit. This is not Carnival. This is the food. But I just wanted you to see what it looked like. So, yeah, let's go there. And that should be it. So that's the food. So that's the French toast. So it looks good. I mean, doesn't look dry or anything. It wasn't dry. It tastes good. It had this little, like I said, the strawberry, whatever this stuff was, on the side. And then they served it with, what else? They served like yogurt and fruits and stuff like that prior to bringing out the French toast. So yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty good considering. Okay. All right, Kai, what's going on? Hip, what's going on? And yeah, so I'm still here, and I will be here until the 11th, and then I'll be going home. Not in Barranquilla. I'll be in Medellin. So my next flight, just so you know, my next flight is going to be on Avianca, and I'll be flying Avianca to Medellin. Now, I wanted to do a comparison. I probably still will, of Copa Airlines compared to Avianca, because they're both, I won't say they're competitors, because Copa is a Panamanian airline, but they fly, both of them fly to Colombia. So I want to do a review on them. The only problem is, this is a really short haul flight that I'm doing from Barranquilla to Medellin. So you're not going to get the same treatment as far as the food. They probably won't serve a meal. I haven't even checked, but I don't think they serve a meal. So it'll probably just be a snack. And so it's not really a fair comparison. However, I can still compare the actual plane as far as the seats. Are they comfortable? Do you have TVs on? I like having the TV on the back. The TV in the Copa, which I didn't find out until halfway through the flight, the TV that they have set up on Copa, it was an armrest thing, so you had to pull the armrest out and then pull the little screen in front of you, and it was about that big. So it wasn't very big, and it's just, I mean, I like just to have the TV sitting right in front of me. I don't like having to pull stuff out of the seat, the armrest and all that. So I wasn't really really into that whole experience. Okay, so let's before we get started, I'll see who else is in the chat. And like I said, if you come in, let me know you're here just by saying hello. If you're comfortable, let me know where you're coming from as far as what state or what country. And let's go ahead and check this out here. Any questions? Do the flight prices stay consistent in Colombia? I'm flying into Bogota, but I need to get to Cartagena. Should I book that flight in advance because I really want to book when I get there? You know what? I don't know. Since it's a short haul flight, it probably doesn't fluctuate very much. So the flight that I booked, and I booked this 2 weeks ago on Avianca. I booked from Barranquilla to Medellin, and Bogota's a little further, I believe. Bogota to Cartagena is a little bit further. But I paid $135, and well, actually $135. That was a one-way ticket, but I'm flying business class. So if I was flying economy, it would be cheaper. So I don't know. You might be okay with waiting. I would check to see what it is right now, and if it's a good price, I would probably just jump on it now. I mean, if you already know you want to go to Cartagena, I would just jump on it and see where. I mean, I can't see it. If you're waiting for a deal, I don't know if you're saying that you're waiting for a deal, or if you just you don't know exactly what your plans are, so you're going to wait until you get to Bogota and see. And this is just my advice, Nika. You're going to want to go somewhere. You're going to want to go somewhere else. Bogota's a nice city, but just understand Bogota is it's like New York. Okay, so it's a lot of people. And the city is a big city, so you have a lot of people there. People aren't as friendly there, just because I think there's so many people. And I don't know if that's an excuse, but I kind of compare it to like a large city, so LA or New York, where people are kind of in their own, they're minding their own business. They're doing whatever they need to do, and they don't really have time. They're on the move. Bogota is the capital city, so you have all the government buildings there. You have a lot of dignitaries there. You have a lot of stuff going on, so you constantly have people moving about. So Bogota's a nice place, but I wouldn't want to just stay there, and I wouldn't base my whole opinion on Colombia just by going to Bogota. I would want to go somewhere else. So I would either go to Medellin, which I highly recommend, or Cartagena, which is very nice as well. And Cartagena has a lot of history. So you would probably want to go there too, because they have a lot of history. They have the walled city, and they tell you the whole history. Like if you go on a tour, they'll explain the whole history of the slave ships, how they came in to Cartagena, and so that whole thing. There's a lot of history there. So yeah, if you're unsure about going to Cartagena, like you're thinking, oh well, I just want to go to Bogota and then kind of see how I feel and see if I want to go to Cartagena, I'm just telling you, my advice is you probably are going to want to go to Cartagena as well. Plus, it's cold. It's cold in Bogota, and you're in high elevation, so your air. I mean, the air is very thin, so you walk up a flight of stairs and you're going to be out of breath. So just different things like that. I mean, Bogota is nice. Some people really like Bogota. As a matter of fact, on the way to the airport, on the way to LAX, it's funny enough, on the way to LAX, I caught an Uber. And he asked me where I was going. I said, oh, I'm going to Colombia. I'm going to Barranquilla. And he was like, oh, I'm going to Bogota in 2 weeks. So he wasn't Colombian, but he was going to go to Bogota to meet up with some friends. He says he goes out there at least once a year, and he likes it. So yeah, you want to go to more than just Bogota, though. I definitely say that. All right, Hip, what's going on? Let's see. Hey, what did I miss? You didn't miss much. We haven't really gotten started yet. Let's see, that guy. David, speaking fluent Spanish. So I guess you're asking me if I speak fluent Spanish. No, I don't. And I've had some problems this trip. Usually I'm okay. Like I can kind of get around some things. But I went to like an Éxito. It's like a Walmart in the U.S. They don't have Walmart out here. So I went there and I had the unfriendliest like cashier. She was very, very frustrated with me, and just over like one thing there, and I knew this from last time, but I just didn't remember. When you use a credit card, like if you go to one of these stores and you use your credit card, they want you to tell them the last 4 digits on your card. And I think I even had to give her the security number, the security thing on the card too. So she puts the card in the machine, and I'm supposed to be able to tell her those numbers. Now I guess those numbers show up to her, and I tell her. I don't really understand that whole thing, but she was trying to explain that to me. Actually, the first thing she tried to explain to me was, "Is this all I'm getting? Just water?" Because I had water and then I had some candy. She's asking me, "Is this all I'm getting?" And I didn't understand what she was saying. So the lady in line behind me, she told her in Spanish, "No, he has this stuff too," because obviously she knows she didn't have the stuff, so she told her that she had the stuff too. So she kind of was just like, gave me a look, and she knew I didn't speak English because I told her, I even asked her if she spoke English, and she said no. So then after that, I put the card in, didn't have the numbers, so now she has to pull the card out and then redo the transaction. So she was kind of irritated with that. You could see how her expression. She took it out, and then she's like pointing to me like, "These numbers, you need to know these numbers," in Spanish. And then so then she puts it back in and does whatever. But I do remember the last time that I was in Colombia, they asked me that question as well. But the lady was nice about it. Like I was in a restaurant, I think, and she used the card, and she was nice about it and just told me, "Yeah, I need to know the 4 numbers on the back of the card, the 4 last digits of your number on the card." And I guess most cards, if you think about it, most cards are face up. But when you get these fancy travel cards, you know how they have them on the bottom side. So when you slide the card in, you slide it in one way, and it's underneath. So if it were the traditional cards that have the numbers on the front of the card, then you just slide it in. You can see the numbers and actually read them off. But yeah, and maybe that's why she asked me the numbers, because she can't see it, so she's asking me. I don't know. But no, I don't speak fluent Spanish. I am trying to learn, and I'm doing a little bit better. Like I can understand a lot. But as far as speaking it, I really need to work on that. Let's see. Let's see. That guy. Nobody. Say, "I'll be waiting anytime." No, right there. Oh. So that guy, you're the one I was talking about. I think that guy was talking about the envelope thing under the drawer. So I haven't been able to do that because there are no drawers in this hotel room. It's really weird. And I don't know, you can't really see, but off back here, there's like it's like an open closet, and that's all they have, and they're just shelves. So I guess you can't even, you can probably see it if I flip the screen. So this right here is a shelf, and there's a shelf down here. Oops. And there's an opening area down here where I can put my luggage and all that. And then there's a rack over the top where you can hang all your clothes. I just took the hangers down just because you could see them in the video and it didn't look right. So yeah, that's my closet and my drawer space. There are no actual drawers in here at all, which is a little strange, but that's just the way that they have it set up. So I don't have any place to hide my stuff in the drawers. But it's been fine. I've been here the whole time. I'm leaving tomorrow, so yeah, I didn't have any issues of anybody taking my stuff, so that's good. Okay, and one other thing too is kind of funny because the door that I have doesn't shut all the way, and if you don't push it in, it's not going to lock. And I found that out by going in, and luckily I was only going to iron my clothes, which you have to iron they don't have an ironing board and iron in here. It's outside, but it's right out my door. I can see my door from there. So I went out, ironed my clothes, and on my way back, the door's just open. Like you push it and the door just comes open. I'm like, oop. So yeah, that could have been ugly if I would have gone out for the night. And yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see. We'll pull out the dress. San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, so that guy saying he hates those armrest monitors. Yeah, I don't get that whole thing. I mean, I can understand if you're at the very front and they don't have anywhere to put the TV. And I've even seen them sometimes just put it on the that front wall. But that's a little far away. Maybe they should put bigger TVs there. That would be nice. But I don't get the armrest thing. Yeah, it just doesn't. And you have to interrupt the person sitting next to you, because usually, I mean, the armrest, it's probably about that wide. So one arm, two arms on the armrest. Even if I'm pulling something up, it's still gonna hit their arm. So you have to interrupt them in order to pull the screen out. And yeah, I don't get that whole thing. And then it had a touch screen, and the touch screen wasn't very good. Like I'm touching the screen, I kept touching it, it wasn't doing anything. Like it, yeah. So I wasn't really happy with that. Let's see. Would you fly Copa first class again? Lionel, it was business class, and I would. I mean, it wasn't horrible, and there's certain things that I look for. One thing, obviously, and a lot of planes now, even economy, have the little USB port. So it has a little USB port. The seat was comfortable, and that was the main thing that I was looking for. So the seat was comfortable, even though it didn't lie all the way back. It reclined enough so I could still sleep if I wanted to, and I was able to get a little bit of sleep. So that's the main thing that I'm looking for. So it was comfortable enough. So I would fly with them again. As far as the TV, I know I just complained about it, but honestly, I never really watch TV on a plane. I don't. I'm usually either editing video, editing photos, or just watching on my tablet, watching like a Netflix series or something like that. So I very rarely will get on the in-flight entertainment and watch it and watch that stuff. Okay, let's see. David, will you pull out that dress? What? What are we talking about? David will pull out that dress. I don't know if I'm understanding what you're talking about, Kai. Let's see. Have you ever been to Mallorca? Yeah, but no, I've never been there. Is that in Colombia? I'm not familiar with that place. Let's see. Wait, it just said back on. You should book my flight in advance. Book my flight in advance. Nika, let's see. I don't want to stay in Bogota at all, if that's where my flight is. Oh, I see what you're saying. So wait, I'm still a little confused though. So Nika, you're saying you booked your flight, it goes to Bogota, you don't want to stay in Bogota, you want to go somewhere else. I think I'm hearing you correctly. So if that's what you want to do, yeah, I would. Realistically, I don't know how long you're staying, but an ideal scenario for me is I would want to go to Medellin for a few days, maybe 3, 4, and then go to Cartagena for 3 or 4 days, and make that trip like that. Now, that's just what I would do. Now, if you don't have that much time, go to one or the other. I think, depending on what you want, like if you want to be next to the beach, the water, and all that, then do Cartagena for sure, because Medellin is inland, and you're like 8 hours from an 8-hour drive, or like a 2 or 3 hour, I think it's a 2-hour flight to the nearest beach. So you're not going to get that. They do have a lake out there. They have a Guatapé. You can go there. They have a lake, but as far as a beach, yeah, you're not going to be close to a beach. But understand too, Cartagena's beach, like the beach in Cartagena, is not very nice. It's like a kind of an old. It's not a real nice, beautiful, scenic beach. You have to go to one of the islands to go to the real nice beaches, the real white sand and all that. And that's a day trip. You get on a boat and they take you out to one of the islands, and then you can hang out there for the day and then come back. But yeah, if you are interested in the beach, then you want Cartagena. Or if you're interested in going to Medellin, Medellin is probably it. For me, it feels the most like home because it's very modern. They have a lot of, and they're very big on food, like they're foodies. So they have a lot of these nice restaurants and these like elegant places to eat, and it's not expensive. Like the food is very, very reasonable. Like you can go to a restaurant that you'd go to in the U.S. that would cost you for 2 people $150. You can go there and get it for $30 or $40. That same experience is what I'm saying. So it's like they have some real high-end restaurants there that are nice. They have nice malls. They have some attractions. Guatapé is one of them. You can go there. They have a rock. You can walk up the rock and see the scenery from the rock. They have a bridge out there that's pretty neat looking, like a freestanding bridge. So that's pretty nice. They have a lot of things there. Medellin will keep you busy. Plus, I mean, I know this might not be something that you're interested in, Nika, but the women out in Medellin are the most beautiful women I've ever seen. So, yeah, they have that too. All right. Not to take anything away from Barranquilla, because I was here, and yeah, you got some beautiful women here. As a matter of fact, Barranquilla is like known for beautiful women. Sofia Vergara, Shakira. I don't even know these people. I mean, I know they're on TV, and I see, or one's a singer, and so I know what they look like, but I don't really like know them, like follow them like that. But yeah, they're known for beautiful women, and usually for the beauty pageants, Miss America and all that stuff, they have the Miss Colombia usually comes from where am I? Barranquilla. Usually come from Barranquilla. I get tongue tied. Wow. All right, Barranquilla, and then Venezuela. Obviously, you know Venezuela. They've been known for having beautiful Miss Americas there as well. And right now, and if you guys watch the news at all, you know that there's a lot of stuff going on in Venezuela, and Venezuelan people are coming to Colombia, like in droves. They're coming, and Colombia is letting them in for the most part. They're letting them come in, and they're giving them like certain type of visa where they can stay here. And the thing is, back, and I don't know the exact time, I'd have to do my more research, but just from talking to some Colombians, there was a time when Colombia, obviously we know Colombia was really dangerous back in the 80s and 90s, and they were Venezuela was doing really well with the oil and everything. They were doing really well, and so they were allowing Colombians to come in. So now Colombia is paying back the favor. All right, let's move down, and I'm gonna have to get started. Let's see what I said. I don't want to stay in Bogota at all, but that's where my flight's going. Yeah, he said you're already set on going there, which probably doesn't. Okay, put on Shorka. Spain for Ibiza. Okay. How do flights expensive if I book the day of? I want Cartagena. Awful lot about that. Okay, that guy. Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you want to go to Cartagena. That's what Nika's saying. And after all reading all that stuff, yeah, she wants to go to Cartagena. Yeah, so Cartagena is a nice city. You'll enjoy it there. And if you have some time, you can take a ride up to Barranquilla, which it's like an hour-and-a-half ride. You could take a bus. I think the bus was pretty reasonable. It's like $6 or $7. If you take a cab, I think it's going to be more around like $40. But you can at least come out to Barranquilla and just spend a little bit of time out here. So it's pretty nice. Now, I can't speak for Barranquilla when it's not Carnival, because I've never been here. So right now it's lively and everything, but who knows how it is like on a regular day. I do know a lot of the stores and shops and stuff, they close early, or they don't even open at all. Like at this hotel down below, there are two businesses. One is like a kind of a fast food restaurant, and then the other one is, I think it was a pharmacy. And they've been closed the whole time I've been here. So they don't open. Like they shut it down and everybody's partying. They're not worried about they're not worried about opening their store. And then you notice like a lot of the other stores, most of the restaurants will still be open, but not a lot of the other stores are closed down too, or they'll close early, right after like I went to Éxito right after Carnival. We just walked over to Éxito, and when we walked over there, they were closing, and this was like 6:30 Monday night, and they were closing up because, and I think what it was is they wanted to close before, and this might, I don't know, I think I'd want to stay open, but I think they wanted to close before all the people came from the parade. Yeah, so that was kind of strange. All right, okay, so let me go ahead and get started now, or not get started, but let's talk a little bit about my experience in Carnival. Let's see. Now, if I freeze up or anything, just let me know, because I'm going back and forth looking at my health and all that on the screen here, and it's showing that I'm okay. So I just want to make sure. I only have one computer usually, one screen. Usually when I do my streams at home, I have two screens, so I can see everything on one screen, and then I can also see what you guys can see. I don't know if that makes sense, but I can monitor stuff. I can't monitor stuff on here now, so that's what I'm trying to say ultimately. All right. Let's see, Nika, what did we say here? I might check it out. The Hyatt Cartagena is not available for points on the weekend, so I might leave and go elsewhere in Colombia. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, that's bad. That bothers me about Hyatt, how they do that. I almost went to Cartagena on Sunday because I could have booked a free night, but I just decided against it because I didn't have enough time. Like I wanted to be in I'm glad I didn't, because it would have been just too much back and forth. So, all right, so here we go. Carnival. So basically, let's see, one more question here. Priya, what's going on? I found a $1,500 AA business round trip ticket to Cartagena. Wow, that's a pretty good deal. I would suggest using points if you can, but yeah, $1,500, that's a pretty good bargain. Now you have to understand, it's not like true business class. So, and when I say true business class, I mean the full-on lie flat seat, all that. You're not going to get all that. So you're just going to be sitting in a seat that's, for the most part. Now I don't know what plane's going out there on AA, but generally they're probably going to partner up with someone else. You'll probably be flying on another airline. You might be flying on AA, but if you do fly on American Airlines, check out the plane just to make sure it's something that you want. Because like I said, the business class, if you're going to spend $1,500, you know, that's a lot of money to spend and not be happy with the seating arrangement and all that. Okay, all right, so I arrived, and we'll go ahead and start talking about Barranquilla. So I arrived at around 1 o'clock, 1:15 in Barranquilla. So those of you just came in recently, I flew Copa Airlines. I flew from from LAX to Panama, and then from Panama I flew into to Barranquilla. So I got here around 1:30-ish, and went through customs. Customs wasn't really that bad. Like it was strange because I was flying from Panama to Colombia. When you get on, they give you the declaration forms when you get on the airline. So they gave me the declaration form. I didn't really look at it when they first gave it to me. So I sat down, I started looking at it, and it was all in Spanish. And I don't speak fluent Spanish, so I was a little concerned. So I said, oh, well, I'm sure they have like an American version, right? Or at least Spanish on the top, American on the bottom. No, I say American. English on the bottom. Whatever. So I'm sure they have one that has Spanish on the top and English on the bottom. So I asked her, and she said, no, they don't have any. So I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I gotta fill this form out. And so what do? So I pulled up Google Translate, and a lot of this stuff, the majority of this stuff I knew, but there are certain questions, and you know how they word it, like legally, the legal writing, so it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand it, so I had to make sure by using Google Translate. And I tell people this all the time. If you're going to another country, have Google Translate, have the little app, but also download that language. So if it's Spanish, download Spanish onto your phone. That way you don't need it. You don't need to have Wi-Fi. You don't need to have your data on or anything like that, and you can use it anywhere, and it will. It will recognize whatever, you can talk to it and do all that good stuff. So even though I was flying in the air, didn't have Wi-Fi, didn't have my phone service or anything, I was still able to use Google Translate. So that's just a little tip. I tell people all the time, you have to get that app if you don't speak the language. All right. So I went in. So we get there. We get to Barranquilla, and I'm kind of lost too because it's a little strange. You come into the airport and they're doing construction and stuff, so not everything is, it doesn't all look like it's like together. You know what I mean? Like everything is kind of scattered about. Let me turn my phone off. Everything is kind of scattered about. Like I wasn't sure if I was going in the right area. I didn't see signs and that kind of stuff. So I'm following the group around. And then once I follow the group, we go to the baggage claim. My bag's one of the first ones off the carousel, so I grabbed that, and I'm kind of thinking, okay, I'm gonna wait to see where everybody else goes because I didn't know where to go. And so I follow some other people over to, and they always do this in Colombia, where you get to the very end of customs. You go through customs, you give them the declaration form, they look at it. So I gave it to him, he looked at it, and I filled it out correctly, I guess, because he let me through. So then I go through, and they always have like a scanner at the very end where they'll scan your luggage. So that's what they did. They threw my luggage in there. And before they started scanning it, so I put my luggage, you just put your luggage in on one side. They have this in Hawaii too, so for like fruits and stuff like that. Or I think if you're bringing, maybe you're bringing, because I think you can't, there's certain things you can't bring into Hawaii, especially like wildlife, stuff like that. Snakes, I think, or I don't know. Anyway, they have that scanner. So I put my luggage on the scanner, but it hadn't even gone up yet. And I walk over, and as I walked through, a police officer came up to me and shook my hand and welcomed me into the country, which I thought was really nice. But then after that, and he didn't know anything. Like he didn't know what was in my bags, basically. So my bags come out of the little turnstile thing, and then a lady comes over and she was like, "Oh no, he has a lot of camera equipment." So basically, they had to look at my stuff because I had a bunch of, and I do. Like I have a full. I don't know if you can't see. All right, I have a full suitcase, like a carry-on suitcase, carry-on luggage that's all camera stuff, and then I have another set of luggage. Yes, I usually try to do just the carry-on, but for this event, since it was a big event, I wanted to bring all my camera gear. I have everything, so that's why I, have 2 bags. So they checked my bag. So he checked my bag. He was very nice about it, joking with me and stuff like that the whole time, because I have a ridiculous amount of camera equipment. Okay, so then I got in the cab, then we were on our way. So we get down to the hotel. I come into the hotel, I check in, everything is running smooth, but I'm tired. I hadn't slept. I slept like an hour and a half, so I was really tired. So I stayed up, but like I stayed up as long as I could, and then there's a group that I've been a part of, this little travel group, and we've never traveled together or anything like that. We just kind of started talking about this whole Carnival thing, and that's how we kind of developed a group, and it was all from YouTube. So like a couple of YouTubers on there and me, and we're talking back and forth, and one YouTuber says, "Hey, I want to start I'm going to start a WhatsApp group." And so he started a WhatsApp group, and then we all joined in, and now it's like there's a large number of people that are in there that are all interested in Colombia. And so it's pretty cool. So like 7 or 8 of us actually came out to the event. So we were going to meet up that night, and I was really tired, and so I told myself, no, I'm not going to sleep. I can sleep when I leave. So I stayed up, and I forced myself to stay up, and then right before it was probably about 8:30 here, like this time, because it's 3 hours ahead. 3 hours, I think it's the same time as New York. So it's 3 hours ahead of what I'm used to in California. So right before, like around 8:30, I went and took a shower and everything, just laid down, and I was doing something on the computer, and I fell asleep. And I woke up like only like 30 minutes later. And so I got up, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go. So I got up and went out, and I went to, they have block parties. So they have these big block parties for the first 3 nights. And these block parties, I have video of it. I will do a video, like not really a review, but just do a video of kind of the nightlife in Carnival. And this is the biggest party I've ever seen, ever been involved in my life. You go in, and it's a block. It looked like it was like 6 blocks long, and it's blocked off. And they have a concert on one end of the block, and then on the other, and then like different little kind of stations separate it's not really even separated. It's all one, but you have the concert going on one side, and then you have different music as you walk up and down the block. And it's people from one end to the other end. And it was, how much was it? 10,000, which is like $3. $3 to get in, and they give you 2 beers when you get in. So it was nuts. And you go in there, and there's just people everywhere. Everybody's dancing, having a good time. One of the big things in Colombia during the Carnival, they have like these foam sprayers, like this long little, like it looks like a spray paint can, and it's foam, and you squeeze it and it just shoots out foam. So they like to shoot foam on people, and they also like to put powder on people, and like throw powder, or like the girls will come up to you and they'll have like powder in their hands and they'll come up to you and they'll rub it all on your face. I don't really know the meaning of it. I guess I need to find that out, but that's something that's really common there. So, so you're walking around and you just have these strangers. I mean, they're women, so hey, you can come up to me anytime, but you have these women that just come up to you and just put this powder all over your face, or like put it all over your shirt. And it's just the thing that they do. They're all happy about it. And so that's one thing too. And I'm doing another video. I have a bunch of videos that I have planned, but another video I'm going to talk about just kind of some of the tips and some of the things that you need to know before you go to Carnival. I'm glad that I packed. I'm glad I brought a checked luggage where I can put enough clothes in it, because you get dirty every time you go out. You go to the parade or you go to one of the block parties, you just get dirty because they have this powder. It's white powder. I even saw they had some of them had green powder, orange powder, and they'll just throw it and bring it all, and it'll be all over the ground and stuff. So you're walking, so your pant leg, you have all this powder and stuff all over your clothes, and then they have the spray, and they're spraying that, the foam, and you get that all over your clothes. So every night, it's not one of those, if you're in an Airbnb and you can wash your clothes and you're fine, but if you're not in Airbnb, then you need to, and you don't have a place to wash your clothes, you're going to need to have a set of clothes for each day. Like, and I say a set, I mean two pair, because the parade, which I guess I didn't mention this, I didn't get to go to the parade on the first day, because, did I go the first day? Hold on, I went twice. I can't remember now. No, I didn't go the first day. Yeah, because I got in, it was around 1:30. By the time I got settled and everything, I went to get some groceries and everything. Came back to the hotel room. That's when I took a shower, laid down to work on the computer, and then I fell asleep. Okay, so I didn't go the first day. Now the first day is like the biggest parade. That's the biggest part of the parade, the first day. So I wasn't able to make it because it stops at like 5:30. And so by the time I got settled and everything, it was already done with. But I attempted to go to a party that night, a block party, and I went. And this is the first time I've been to Barranquilla. I don't know much about the city or anything like that. So I get in a cab, and the guys from the travel group were like, "Hey, we're going to this block party, Calle 50." And that's where it's on Calle 50 is what they're saying. So they gave me directions, and so I told the cabbie, and he took me down there. So he drops me off, and where he drops me off, it's just a street, right? You can see that there's stuff going on out there. Like you could see that there's like in the distance, but there was a fence in front, and there was a huge line, and so. I don't even know why there was a line. When I got there, they were actually breaking the line up because they had stopped the party, or not stopped the party. They had stopped letting people in. There were too many people in there already. So I got there and I couldn't get in. And the thing is, I couldn't get in, but there was like, let's just say, if I wasn't going in I'm not just going to hang out. Like there were people that were just hanging out there, but everyone was just serving food. And it wasn't anything. They weren't partying. Just put it that way. They were all there working, so they were selling something. That was the reason why they were there. And so my whole thing was, I'm not just going to hang out here. Nobody's dancing. Nobody's partying or having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. They're inside of the block party already. And so I just went home. I went back. So I took a cab to get there. Stayed there for about 20 minutes, and then took a cab and came back to the hotel. So that was the first night. So the next night I got up, and I made a point to get up early and get out and go. And so I went out to the parade. That's the first thing I did. Went to the parade, got there. It was pretty good. When it comes to the parade, I didn't buy any tickets or anything like that, and you probably shouldn't buy tickets. You should probably wait because you can buy tickets online. I think they were going for like $41 or something like that the last I looked, and that's for one day. If you wanted to pay, I think $70 would be all 3 days. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to pay ahead because I'm a planner. Like I don't want to be caught off guard. But something told me, and we were talking to some people in the group, and they were saying, yeah, you know what, just wait. When you get there, you can get it for cheaper. And my whole thing is I was a little nervous about getting tickets from a scalper because that's where you're going to get them. There's no real place to buy them other than buying them from a scalper once you're there at the event. And so what I did is I went all the way up to where I wanted. Like, you don't have to buy tickets to get into the parade. You can go and get in the parade for free, but you're not going to have like an optimal place to stand and watch the parade. And you're going to be fighting for space because there are a lot of other people that are trying to do it free too. So if you can pay for a ticket, you're going to be in the bleachers. You can look down. In my case, I was able to stand right on the rail and look straight down into the parade as they went by. And my thing is this: I wanted pictures. So that was my main thing. Like I'm going out there, I want to get some real good pictures. So I wanted to be in a good position where I can get some good pictures. So that was the first day I did that, and I paid 30 mil, which is like $9 for the ticket. So $9 to $10, and that's obviously a lot less than 40. So I made out really good. But what I did is I went right to the gate where I wanted to go in, and I talked to one of the guys at the gate, and I asked him how much. I asked him, where can I get tickets? And he told me, like, he's pointing at these guys saying, you can get your tickets from them. And I said, how much are the tickets? And he told me that they were 30 mil. And so when I turned around and asked one of the scalpers, of course it's 40 mil, right? It's 40,000 instead of 30,000. And I'm thinking, man, I said, no, not 30,000, or not 40,000. He's like, no, 40 mil. I'm like, no. And so then that guy walked away. And another guy came up to me, same thing, 40 mil. I said, no, not 40,000, 30,000. He was like, okay, 45 mil. So 35,000. And I'm like, no, not 35,000. And so he walks away. And so another guy comes up. When the next guy comes up, he already knew because he's watching all these other guys. He knew I was going to take it for 30 mil, but I wasn't going 40 mil or 35 mil. So he came up, he tried to do the 40 mil again. I said no, and then he said 30 mil, and I said, no, I'm sorry, I said 30 mil, and he said sure. So he gave it to me. So that was pretty much how that worked. So I got in, I went up, I was in the bleachers, perfect spot, able to take some really good pictures. So that was my first day. And then after that, we did the party. So I actually got into this block party this time. And I think they let a lot more people in this last time. I don't know why, because before I could see, like from the gate, I could see a lot of open space, and then the concert was all the way down. So we're talking, it was about 6 blocks away, but I could still see the concert way down there, and I could see the space in between. The next night when I went and I was able to get in, it was from that fence that I saw, there were people covered, there were people there, and then all the way out to the back. But I'm telling you, these parties, like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, it was just wall-to-wall people, and everybody's dancing, everybody's having a good time, partying, and screaming and yelling, and phones going everywhere, and people putting powder on everyone, and yeah, it was fun. It was amazing. And then they had all the little, the beer stations, because mostly they weren't really serving like hard alcohol, or you could get shots, but they weren't like serving like mixed drinks and stuff like that. The majority of it was beer and just like the hard liquor that they have, aguardiente, I think, and some other like rum and stuff. So that was pretty much that was a fun night, and we stayed there until probably about 1:30. And that's another thing too. The group, like I said, never met these guys before. We didn't like travel together. We're staying in separate hotels and all that, but we all linked up at the parties. That was the first time that I met all of them. So we hung out, and we were there until like 1. I was there until like 1:30. Me and another guy, and we took off. Some other people stayed a little bit later, but some of those parties would last until like 3, 4 in the morning. They were partying all night. But my whole goal was, hey, I want to get home and 2 o'clock, 2:30, get some rest, and then get up and go back to the the parade. So that's what I did. Next day, got back, went to the parade, and this time I was with some of the other guys from the group, and so we went. Or let me take this back. I was with some other guys from the group, but they came later. So when I got there, the parade hadn't started yet, so I got there a little early. But when I heard that the parade was starting, I just went ahead and purchased another ticket. This time it was cheaper though. It was like 20 mil, I think, to 20,000 pesos, which is what is that? 20,000 is $6. Six something. So I went ahead and purchased it, and then I went in, same thing, kind of the bleacher setup. Stood up in the. Actually, I didn't stand up. I was on the rail this time, taking pictures from the rail. Then when they got here, then I left, and they weren't going to let me back in, but the security guard said, "Yeah, you know what? You can go, and I'll let you come back in." So I left and was hanging out with them, and then we walked around to free. You didn't have to pay for this at all. We walked all the way around, and we had an even better spot where we're like on the rail, and there's no one near us. Like we had the whole complete rail, which is good because if you're taking pictures, you can kind of move back, move forward. You didn't have people in your shot and all that kind of stuff. And one thing that's really, really crazy about Carnival and crazy about like a parade, because I don't photograph parades at all, but this is like the first one. But everyone that's in the parade, not say everyone, but the people that are in the parade, they're dancing, they're doing all this stuff. If you can get eye contact with them or like kind of wave at them, like you can tell them to come over to you while they're in the parade, which is weird, and do selfies. There are a lot of people doing that. But you can wave at them and get eye contact, and then you can get some really good shots of them looking at you, which that's the shot that you would want. Like for me, that's a shot that I want. I want something that's more personable, where they're looking at me. Those are the shots that are in my opinion, those are the better shots. It's more of a portrait. They're looking at you. They're not looking off somewhere else. So they do that. Yeah, they'll look at you, or they'll come over to you if you want them to come over to you, or they'll pose for you. They have all these different little poses and stuff like that they do. So it was very interesting. So I did that, and then went to a party that last night. It was called La Troja, which is like a restaurant bar, and they pretty much blocked off their whole parking lot. Actually, it's probably more than their parking lot. It was a large space, and they let everybody in there, and that was 15 mil. So that was 15,000 pesos, which is $8, something like that, $7.50, something like that. So they let us in for that's how much that was, and then they gave you 3 beers. So you got 3 beers when you got in. So it was interesting. It was fun. I had a good time. And so that brings me to today. Basically today I laid low in the morning, just kind of slept in, and then got up, I attempted to take some pictures. I wanted to get at least one sunset shot before I left in Barranquilla. It didn't really work out. The sun just wasn't a good sunset. So took a few pictures out at the beach, and it's funny because I got in the cab, and I don't really know. I didn't have it planned. This was kind of like a last minute thing where I was trying to think, okay, am I going to go out? Like, I wasn't going to go to the parade. They had a parade today. I wasn't going to go to the parade because it was already a little late after I edited all my pictures and all that stuff, or edited some of them in my video. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll go take pictures at sunset, and I'll go fly my drone. I have a drone. I wanted to fly that. So I get all ready and everything. I go down. It's too windy for the drone, so I wasn't going to do that. But then I'm talking to the taxi guy, and I'm saying, hey, just take me to... I told him take me to the nicest beach, which Barranquilla, I don't think they really have like a real nice beach. But there was something about a point. They were saying point. I guess this is like like a popular place for locals, okay? But it's not like a tourist place at all. And I didn't know that, so I just told him, hey, yeah, okay, yeah, take me there. So he's taking me down there, and as we're riding, we're in the street. We're on a street, like a road. We're riding through, and then all of a sudden we go onto a dirt road, and I'm thinking, where are we going? And he takes me down this dirt road. We probably went 2 or 3 miles into this dirt road, and you're starting to see, okay, this isn't a local. I mean, this isn't a tourist spot. This is like locals. All all the houses and all that. You could tell that it was locals that were living there, and so it takes me all the way in, and come to find out, it's called La Flora, and it's like the barrio, like the impoverished area in Barranquilla. So he takes me out there. Sure enough, there was a beach there, but it was a really what's the word? Yeah, it's just not a beach that tourists would go to, which is good. That's what I want. I just want to be safe. That's what I want. I want to go to a beach where not everyone goes. I want to get shots that not everyone gets. And this is more of like a beach, but it was more of like a fishing, kind of like a fishing area where you had kind of like a fishing village, because you had houses right there, and they would go out and do their fishing, and then they'd come back, and they even had like, if you wanted to buy fresh fish, you can come to this area and buy the fish. I saw a guy buying fish. They were weighing the fish for him and all that. So that's kind of what this area. So it wasn't really like a real beautiful beach, but it was something different, something I liked. So I went down there and I did some video. I don't know how the video turned out. I think the audio was probably bad because it was really windy. And then I took some pictures, then came back, and I've been back ever since. So, and I got back at, I don't know, about 7 o'clock. So that's pretty much what I've done this whole time. And then I'll be going off to Medellin. I'll be hitting Medellin tomorrow. I need to get up, get on my flight. My flight is at 9 o'clock, 9 something, and I'll be going up to Medellin, and I'll relax a little bit more in Medellin because I've already been there. I've done a lot of this stuff in Medellin. I'm going to a new area of the city, which is more of a local area, that should be pretty fun. But I've already done a lot of the tourist stuff there, so I can kind of relax a little bit and edit video and photos and all that. So that's kind of what my plan is. But definitely, I'm going back to Carnival next year and the year after. It was that much fun. Like it was really fun. I just want to make it a point to that first day. I want to experience that whole first day at the parade, and then going to the nightlife, this stuff. I wasn't able to do that. And the first day, they say the first day is like the biggest day. Even the day before, like they had a big concert with what's that guy's name, Mark Anthony, and some other popular performers. So I want to get here just a little bit earlier next time. That way I'm not coming in on the day, like I came in on Saturday, that was the big day, right? But I'm coming in at 2 o'clock and I'm tired, and I hadn't slept in over 24 hours. I mean, like a real good night's sleep, because an hour and a half is not going to get it for me. Okay, let's see. Let's read a few more questions, and then we're going to go into the pictures. I'll show you guys those. Let's see. Where are we? Okay, so Pariah, well, maybe have to consider Colombia. Yeah, you should consider it. And if you want to go to like a modern city, go to Medellin, and you'll have fun there. Now, if you want to go to a city that's a little, it depends on exactly what you're looking for. But if you want to go to a city where you want to go into the communities more and see, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like. There's certain areas that you can go. Even in Medellin, the same thing. You can go to the comunas and stuff like that are up in the valley, or up, not in the valley, but up the hill, and you'll be able to see some like more local living. That's what I'm looking for. So if you want to see more local living, then you can still do that in Medellin. You can also do it in Cartagena. Cartagena has a Boca Grande area, which is more modern. That's where you have your high-rise buildings, and it looks kind of like Miami. And then you can go into where the walled city is, and then around that area, not in the walled city, but around the walled city, you'll have some more local living areas there. I like to go to local living areas as long as it's safe and there's no issues like that. I like to go there. I like to take pictures there because it's not always seen. Like a lot of people won't go there, but it's colorful. One thing I love about Colombia, they have colorful buildings. You can have like houses. You can have a rundown house, or what we would consider a rundown house, and it's all colorful and bright, and then you have all these different colors going on with all the different buildings that are in that area. Like if you go up, you can get on the metro in Medellin. You can take the metro cables, and it'll take you. And it's just like a one of those things called Disneyland, where they have those things that go. I don't even know if they still have them. I haven't been to Disneyland that long, but you know, they have the little things that carry you up. It's just a cable. They call them metro cables. I don't know. I can't remember the name here, but anyway, it'll take you up, and you can see. You just look down, you can see all the different buildings and everything. So you don't have to be like in the city. You can take it all the way up. There's a park at the very top, the one that goes to, I think, Comuna Diaz. I think it'll take you up, but it'll take you to a park. Park A, I can't remember the name of the park, but anyway, it'll take you all the way up to this park, and you can see all the buildings and houses and all that, all the different colors and stuff. I don't know. I really like that kind of stuff. All right, but yeah, you should consider it. It's definitely a place worth going to. I've seen people get tickets to Cartagena for like 200, 300 bucks round trip. Yeah, but that's Nika. Yeah, if you go to Florida, you can get a ticket to Florida. You can take a straight shot to Cartagena. You don't have to go to Bogota at all. But I guess I'm guessing you already bought your ticket and it's going to Bogota, and you don't want to spend any time there. So I just can't see that ticket being even maybe 200. I can't see it being more than 200 though for a flight from Bogota to Cartagena. I just can't see it being more than that. Let's see. Download Google Maps, offline maps, also for navigation without internet. Yes, that guy. Yeah, you're right. So if you do have like Google Maps, you can download the area, like when you do the offline download, it'll show you like a little box, and it'll show you what's in that box, like the city, and you can kind of, depending on how much space you want to take up for the download, you can increase that box area, and then download it, and it'll be on your phone, so you're able. You don't need Wi-Fi or anything. I use it a lot because when I get in a cab, I almost always have my map going. So just in case he gets lost, or just in case like he's taking me on a route that doesn't look like it's the quickest route, then I'll tell him, hey, how do you know it's this way? And then he'll know, okay, he's on to me. Usually, like in Colombia, it doesn't matter. Like here, it doesn't matter, because when you get in that cab, he already negotiates the price. There's no meter or anything like that. So he's just going to tell you it's 15,000, and that's how much it is. And it doesn't even matter if you, like in my case, last night, I'm tired. I ate breakfast, and I didn't eat much for breakfast because I didn't really like the breakfast at this hotel. This is Ibis Hotel that I'm staying in. And I'm saying I didn't like it, but I'm pretty much, I don't like runny eggs, and they serve the eggs out like it's like buffet style, so they're already out. And I don't like eggs that are runny at all, so I wasn't feeling that at all. And then they had some other stuff too that just didn't look appetizing, so I didn't get any of the breakfast, and I just ate like some toast and stuff like that. So I had breakfast, but I didn't have anything else the rest of the day, because I was out at the parade until. I didn't get home until around 6:30. Got home, took a shower, put on my clothes for the night, and then went back out. I had to get back out there by 8 because I wanted to make sure I got into that block party. And the last time I got there, it was around 10 o'clock, and I couldn't get in. So I wanted to make sure I got in there. And so I hadn't eaten anything, so I'm coming home. It's like 1:30. And I tell the guy in the taxi told me it was going to be 15,000, and so on the way home I'm thinking, I need to get something to eat, and there's no restaurants or anything like right nearby, and a lot of the restaurants had closed down anyways because it was so late. So he was like, oh, okay, I'll take you to a spot, and I'm like, oh, okay. Sounds good. Actually, no. This is the second night. This was last night that this happened, but it was the same story. I get up early in the morning. Or get up early, get dressed, go to the parade, stay at the parade, and then go to the party after. So last night I'm on my way home, and that's when he was saying, no, I'll take you to a place. So he takes me to this place, and they have like empanadas and some other stuff. They had this big potato like ball but I wasn't gonna get that. It didn't look appetizing at all. So I got a few of the different things. They had like fresh juice, so they made juice too. And of course, I bought something for the taxi guy just because. I mean, just be nice. It's like $1.50, $2 if that, for what we got. So and we got it to go. So I got mine to go, and he got his. And so even though he takes me detours just to go somewhere else, and I didn't tell him I was going to buy him anything, but when I told him, can we go get something to eat, he was like, fine. He wasn't going to charge me anything. And then the taxi before that, the night before, same thing. I was on my way home and I was thinking, oh, I want to get something to eat, but we couldn't find anything. So he stopped at a couple of places and they were closed, and he still just took me home and he didn't charge me anything extra or anything. So once they give you the price, it's pretty much set. So that's a good thing. But I do use Google Maps if I'm in a place where, especially if they have a meter, just so I know that they're not trying to take me on a long route just so they can charge me more. Let's see. That's pretty cool. Is it a men's group? Nika, you know what? It's funny that you asked that question. It's a majority of men in the group. I don't actually, you know what? I don't know who all's in the group. I don't, there's only one person the one person that runs the group. And for those of you who don't know, and you don't watch his channel, it's Ace from This Is Ace Live. He's the one that has the group going, and he's got a YouTube channel, so you guys should check him out. He's good. So he was here, and I met him for the first time, and there's a few other YouTubers that came in too. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a men's group, but the vast majority of people in the group are men. I would say, at least the people that actually speak up and talk, because it's like a WhatsApp group. You don't have to say anything. You just be in there and just look at what everyone else is saying. You don't have to speak. But I don't know, like, I'm really impressed with just put it this way, I'm really impressed with this whole group thing. And I never joined any groups or anything like that in the past. And I think it's nice because you have people who are interested in the same thing. Like, we're all interested in Colombia. We all been, or not all of us, but a lot of us have gone to Colombia. We really like the experience, and we like to share our stories. And that's a good platform to share our stories. And so that's how we kind of, really, that's what I really enjoy about it. Like, I can get on there and I can talk to people who have been there, people who are moving out there soon. So there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of good stuff going on with the whole group, and so, and it's just really nice when you start thinking about, okay, there's a big event coming, these people want to go, and they're going, and then we meet up, and everything's good, and there's going to be another event in Medellin. They have a flower event, and it's the same thing, kind of like parade and all that. So I'm already set to go to that. That's going to be in August. So yeah, it's good to be in a group. If you want to travel and you can meet people who are like-minded, who are travelers, and yeah, I think it's a good group. Or it's good to be in a group. And even if you're bringing your friends with you, it's still good to be with like-minded people, because you're going to find, and I found this in travel when I started traveling, you're going to have some friends that are going to want to travel. But if you're really passionate about it and you can really like use points and you know how to travel for a lot less, you're going to want to go everywhere. And your friends they're going to be, if they're not into this whole travel stuff, they're not really going to financially be able to travel with you. And they're not going to want to go. A lot of my friends don't want to go to the same place. So if I go to Colombia, if they go to Colombia once, they go to Colombia once, and that's it. But I like it so much, I like going back, because I just think there's so much stuff here to really explore. But a lot of my friends, they just want to go once. They don't want to they don't want to experience it over and over and over. And it's not even the same place. Like, I go different, like I was telling a buddy of mine went to Medellin with me in May last year. And he had a good time. He really enjoyed it. And I told him, hey, I'm going to Barranquilla. But it was kind of a last minute thing too. And he said he couldn't get the time off, so it is what it is. So he probably would have gone if he had gotten the time off. But some of my other friends, yeah, they don't want to go to the same place twice. They want to go to all these different places, which is fine. I do need to kind of venture out and go different places, and I do. But if I really like a place and there are certain things that I really like about the place, I want to spend some time in that place. And I want to learn, is this a place that I can, when I retire, spend a lot of time there? spend 3 months, 6 months, come back to the U.S. in the summer, and then go back out there. I mean, there are people that do that. There are people that move out there forever. I mean, move out, they're expats and they live in other countries. Is this a country that I would want to do that in? And right now, the way I feel is yes, this is definitely a country that I could live in. I could live in Medellin. There are a lot of people, like a lot of people who retire, and they stay out for 6 months. They're saving money because you're spending a lot less out here to live, to eat, to do everything. And then you can come back to the U.S. for 6 months and then go back out there. So I mean, you can kind of go back and forth, and you can save a lot of money, especially if you're retiring and you have a real tight budget. Then this is an option that you can consider. I don't think I'll be in that situation where I'll have a tight budget, but I'm just saying, like, if you are that type of person, your budget is not, you're not Airbnb when you leave the States, go stay in Colombia and then come back and take over your place again. Okay, let's see. How's vacation? Hey, Maine, what's going on? Yeah, vacation's going good so far. I'm having a real good time. Okay. All right. So, yeah, let's see. Dwight, what's going on? Nika, let's see. How's that work with taxes? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know exactly how the tax laws go out there in Colombia. I think you have to be there for a certain amount of time. You have to be there for a certain amount of time in order for them to be able to like collect taxes on you. But that's something I have to look into. I know I saw a video about it on YouTube. Someone was talking about it, but I can't remember who put the video out. If I remember, I'll send it to you, Nika. But I know there was someone that was talking about the whole tax thing and how that works. They have a lot of different visas though. You can do like a student visa, and then you can do like a business visa. So, and I think from what I'm hearing, they give incentives to Americans if they want to come out and like start a business. So that's something to think about too. And I'm a photographer, so that's something that I would love to do is like start a business, like a photography business. Another thing I'm thinking, every year, Carnival, next year, I might be doing some type of workshop or have a few people come out, like a photography workshop, have people come out and take them and show them the Carnival, show them the parade and how to take pictures. And it's funny, did I say, I can't even remember if I said this. If I'm saying this and I'm repeating it again, I'm sorry, I'm getting old. But yeah, I think I did say it. They pose for you. So they'll pose for you when you're walking by. So, but you just have to know that. You kind of have to, you have to be a little, you got to be out there like, hey, aquí, muy hermosa, just saying stuff like that. And then they'll respond to you and they'll see it. And a lot of them, they get their energy from that, right? They're walking down and it's crazy what these men and women are doing when they're coming down this, because you have to think they're walking, I don't know how many miles, but they're walking a long way. The parade route is, like I said, I don't know exactly how many miles it is, but just think of this, they're dancing, and what they're doing is they'll walk a little bit and then they'll start playing the music and then they'll start dancing. They're dancing all the way down the street, and then they'll stop and they'll walk a little bit, and you see like they have these, like, I guess you'd call them like handlers, like people walking next to them. They have water, they're giving them water, and they're just taking care of them if they have any issues. And it's sad to say, but you see people, I didn't see anyone faint, but you see people that have fainted. Like they have the medical people there, and granted it's hot, it's probably 85, 90 degrees, and it's very humid. And it's hot. Just standing there, I'm sweating. Like I had to get a hat because I was just sweating so much. I can only imagine if I was in the parade dancing. And when I say dancing, I'm not talking about like just a little bit of moving. They're like really moving, dancing all the way down the street. And you see like people running by. Like the first guy that I saw when they ran by, I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. But they have him in the little gurney, the little gurney. Yeah, gurney. That's all I think of. And they're running by with this guy in the gurney, and then you see this girl, and she was in the guy. I don't know if the guy was in the show or not because he looked like he was just in plain clothes. But the girl, like she had on her dress. You know, she was wearing her clothes and all that for the show, and she was out of it. And yeah, you see that. And I saw a guy that was, you could tell like he was like dry heaving. Yeah, so it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. Definitely like it's amazing. But I mean, they're there, they're smiling, they're having a good time for the most part. What you can see, and then yeah, they want to perform, and a lot of them, like, I didn't get the gist of all of the different banners and stuff, just reading them, but a lot of them look like they were either from the college, it's probably the performing arts part of the college, and then some other little dance groups and stuff like that that they had that were coming through. So it was pretty neat. Okay, so taxes, like I said, Nika, I'll once I find that video, I'll send it to you, because yeah, he talked about taxes. Dwight, what's going on? I'm not there, but I have 9 months out of the year in the Philippines. It's so amazing. Yeah, I haven't been to the Philippines yet, but I mean, there are so many hidden gems all over the world that us Americans don't really know about because we don't like to really, a lot of us don't like to venture out and go to different places, especially if we hear like, oh, you know, it might be dangerous there. Oh, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay here. I'm good. And then you do actually experience it, and then you start thinking, wow, this is an amazing place. I would love to spend a lot more time here. So yeah, that's just unfortunate. Okay, let's take a look at some of these pictures. Like I said, this is straight out of the camera, so I'm kind of the fact that I'm showing you guys this is big because I really never do this because it's out of the camera. Like it's not the finished product. It's like me showing you, instead of showing you a meal, me showing you all the ingredients that go in that meal. That's the way it is for a photographer. And I'm just talking, you know, I'm talking the way, that's how we think. Or it's like like instead of showing you the full movie, they show you all the clips and stuff that they use to make the movie. That's how us photographers and artists, I guess you could say, that's how we see things. So the fact that I'm just showing you these, yeah, it's a big thing for me. Some of these I might have started, and that's only because I'm coming back to them because I'm going to do edits on them. And for those of you who aren't photographers, all photographers, we edit our stuff. Okay, so you very rarely will see images that aren't edited at all. Like, we're going to do something to them for the most part. So nothing is really right out of the camera. So just so you guys kind of know that, like, the mere fact that when you shoot like professionally and you have a professional camera and all that stuff, you're usually going to shoot raw images. You're not going to shoot a JPEG image for the most part, unless you're like shooting sports or something. You might shoot JPEG because the turnaround is so fast. When I mean turnaround, I mean they're taking those pictures and they're sending them to the press like immediately. And so they might not shoot a raw image, or they might shoot a raw image and a JPEG image. That JPEG image they shoot up to the magazines and stuff like that, and the newsprint. And then that raw image, they have it as like a negative, I guess you can call it, so they can edit it if they need to edit it in the future. But most professional photographers are going to shoot in a raw format. And a raw format is not a format that you can just show. It's not even going to show up on like a regular computer. It's not going to show up. You have to get special editing software that will recognize the raw photo and then edit the photo that way. And then once you edit the photo, then you export the photo as a JPEG, or you can export it as a variety of different things. But in order to show on the internet, or to, yeah, pretty much to show on the internet and other places, other formats, you're gonna have a JPEG. And then, like, if you print, you can still print like a God, what is it called? You can still print kind of like I think it's a TIFF. I don't do much printing, but you can still print JPEG. But you can print, I think for the highest quality, a TIFF file is like the best to print on. But a TIFF file is another file that's not really recognized on most computers. Okay, enough talk about camera stuff. Let's jump into this here. All right, so this is the second day. So I shot on this day 468 pictures. The first day I shot like over 1,000. But I want to show you this one because it's not as long. I don't want to go through 1,000 images. Some of them are good, some of them are, you know, not good. You just have to understand you're taking pictures and you're trying to get the shot. They're moving. They're all moving. There are a few shots where they will actually stop and pose. But for the majority of the shots, even when they're looking at you, they're still moving. And that's what's really crazy, because they'll be doing their routine and then you get their attention and they're looking at you smiling while they do their routine. And so you're taking pictures like that. Okay, so I don't even really remember. This is the first shot that I took on that day. Actually, this is the first shot in my hotel room, which is, wow, this is gonna be really slow. Okay, I don't know, I'm just testing something. And I just took a picture of this is all the computers, the camera stuff I have on my desk. Okay, so first image there, not anything exciting, but basically she's standing there. I'm using, just for those gearheads that are watching this, I'm using the 70-200. I'm using a Sony camera, it's a Sony A7R III, and that's pretty much it. So pretty nice shot. Us photographers, we really like this here, this bokeh, this blurriness in the background. That's what we really like to use. Like when you take a shot, you want to get that background. You want to separate the individual from the background, and the blurrier you have that background, the better the quality of the shot is. And that's what I like to see. I like to really blur the background if possible. You can't always do it. If I'm shooting a wider shot, yes. And when I say wider, I mean more of her, like even waist high. You're still gonna have blurry in the background, but you're still gonna be able to make out stuff. In this one, since it's like chest up, there's a lot of blur. You can't even make, I mean, these are people back here, but you can't even really make them out. So, all right, so we have the next picture here. Another lady here. See, like I said, it's blurry, but it's not that blurry because of the shot, the angle. If it's closer up, then it's a lot blurrier. Okay, so we have that picture here. So like I said, it's starting to look at me because I'm like being silly and waving and yelling. And they're like, what the heck's going on? What is this crazy guy doing? So we'll just run through the shot. So yeah, they have all these different costumes. That's another thing too. You have to understand it's hot. And some of them are wearing like headgear, and some of them are like in full, they have masks on and all this stuff, and they're going through there. It's crazy. It's I don't know how they do it, but they do it with a smile on their face, and they look like they're having a good time the whole time. So yeah. And another thing too is like first day that I went and I was at the end of the parade. You probably want, if you want to take pictures, you probably want to get closer to the front, like the beginning of the parade, obviously, because they're more fresh and they're they have more energy. But when they get to the very end, it's like they're just ready to go, and I don't blame them. Okay, so we just have shots here, and like I said, these are all right out of camera. So just looking at shots like this is already underexposed, I can tell, and so I would open the exposure, open up the shadow just a little bit. I'm just going into too much, but showing you how I edit. And a little bit of contrast. So I would work on all these images and just to get them, you know, more realistic shot. Okay, and so that's all for another video. Maybe I will go over a video how I edit my travel photos in the future. But yeah, this is the same girl here, so we'll just skip past this one. Let's see, so she's facing here. Okay, so this is another girl. And I'm going to be honest with you, the majority of the pictures I took were females. I just like females. There's some guys there too doing different, but really, realistically, the guys aren't really exciting for the most part. You'll have some guys that are just really weird looking, or they have like this crazy garb on and stuff, so they're good to take pictures of, but I want something interesting, and like women are elegant, and they're elegant in the costumes and the way they move and all that. Throughout the parade, they look good. The guys are just a little more, you know, stiff and They're not very photogenic when it comes to everything. This shot here, or let me go back one, but this shot here, this girl turned her head just at the wrong time. I wanted to get the picture of her facing me, but she turned her head because she was dancing at the time. But that would be a really good shot. Let's see. And here's some more. And like I said, you can see the bleachers and everything. So if you're standing up in the bleachers, you would have a really good view and of the thing. Okay, I can skip these because they're pretty much all duplicates. The camera that I have shoots 10 frames a second. So some of these shots I just hold the button down or hold the shutter down for a second and it takes like 10 shots. Or I hold it down for half a second and it takes like 4 or 5 shots. So they're almost identical shots, just a little bit different movement. So that's what happens sometimes. Okay, so this is, let's see if we had a better shot here. I don't think she ever looked at me. No, I don't think she did. But I just want to show you some of the pictures. Like this girl here, she's looking, so I'm waving, so she's looking at me. And so once they lock onto you, usually they'll give you like a little bit of time while they're watching you. I mean, while they're walking, just so you can take pictures of them. But she's dancing the whole time. So, and then right here, she stopped. So she stopped here and for me. And then once I got my shot, then she moved on. So, and this one, flash here. No, actually, I edited this one, I think. Yeah, I think I edited that one. So there was no flash. So that's the edit. This is one right after that. I haven't edited that one. But like I said, these, for the most part, I need to edit. Like do even more edits. Like this is sometimes what I'll do is I'll look at a picture and I'll think, okay, you know what, this could be a good picture. I'll put a star next to it. I'll do quick edits and then I'll come back to it and I'll actually do the full-on edit. So I do that as well. If you guys are putting things in the chat, go ahead and do that, but I can't see anything right now because I only have one screen open and I'm just looking at the pictures. So if you do have a question or anything like that, just put it in the chat and then I'll come back to it as soon as we're done with this. I guess I messed up on this shot. Well, I don't know. What was I shooting? Let's just skip through these. And then, okay, so we have that. They're just walking. And this is all the same group. Now these are all overexposed. I think I was working on my flash. I wanted to use a flash because I was working on getting my flash to work. The reason I want to use a flash in a situation like this, and this is probably a good example, keep it here. So you have the sun coming down from the top. So the sun is beaming down. It's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're getting all these shadows right here. I want to get rid of all these shadows. So I want to put fill light in these shadows. The only way that I can do it without having like a 3-point lighting setup or anything like that, the only way that I can do it is by having a flash and try to bounce some light into this, and not even bounce into this area, just bounce it on her, and that way it will fill in this harsh light that's light to shadow here. Now, if I can't do that, and in certain situations, like obviously here I couldn't do that, I can always use Lightroom and I can open up the shadows a little bit, and it'll lighten it up. You see it lighten it up, but you still see this harsh line right here. So that's what you want to try to avoid, especially when you're taking pictures of ladies. You don't want harsh lighting on ladies. You just don't. It's not flattering. So for men, it's okay, especially if it's like an older man. He's distinguished and he has all those wrinkles, and it just really brings out all the wrinkles. But for women, yeah, you want to try to avoid the harsh light if you can. So you have this bright light here, and then you have the shadow, and that kind of really hurts things. So if I really wanted this picture, I can work on it, and I can even go into Photoshop and take some of this out to really soften it up, just to look a lot better. So that's why we edit photos. They don't come out, nothing ever comes out perfect. You always have to kind of work on it. Another thing too is when the sun is up high, and when I find a picture, I'll show you guys. When the sun's up high, it gives women, like if it's straight above, it'll give anybody these raccoon eyes. So they'll have the shadows under their eyes. You want to try to avoid that as well. It doesn't look good. Okay, so we're just moving along. I'm gonna try to move as fast as possible. But I like stuff like this where the only thing I don't like is I missed her hand, so her hand's off the screen. It's hard because I'm using a 70-200, so it's zoomed in, and I'm trying to get this her hat, like her head garment, or whatever you call it. I'm trying to get that, and then I'm trying to get as high up as I can, get her hand and all that. So I missed that shot. That's just me. Then I tried to get it here, and everything's moving fast. They're, like I said, they're coming down. They're not slowing down for the most part. So trying to shoot while they move. So yeah, I missed her fingers there. Now if I would have gotten her full fingers in there, I think it would have been a really good shot. But I like her expression, how she's yelling, and then usually they'll have a that's yelling and kind of giving them the cadence and telling them when to dance and all that. And so that's what they're doing for the most part. All right, so this is another close-up shot that didn't work, but some of these shots will work in certain ways that I can edit them. Some of them I can crop in and stuff like that. So you can still save a lot of images. And in today's world, like the cameras that we use, they're so good as far as the megapixels and everything. This is like a 42 megapixel camera, and so yeah, it's amazing what I can do. I can zoom, I can crop this half the size that it is now and still have a quality image that most average cameras shoot. Like they'll shoot 24 megapixels. So I can really crop down and still have a real good shot. Okay, so this is pretty good. I like action, like I like movement, so that's a good shot. So that's one that I would come back to and edit. That's more the side of the face and her feathers in her face. So I don't want to get that shot too low. She's too low on the screen. So that's not good composition. Okay, so this girl sees me and she's gonna pose for me. She hadn't posed yet. So she poses, but the only problem is I should have had it in portrait, so I should have turned to the side because her hand went right off the screen. Okay, so some more girls are standing here, and this is actually a pretty good shot. I would probably work with that. And these are all of the same ones. I'm gonna move a little faster because I know I'll find some that I really like. So she's looking at me. She's playing for the camera. That's good. That's good. Now I was telling you about raccoon eyes. Just a little bit. You just see the darkness. You see this harsh darkness over her eyes too. This isn't as bad. Those aren't bad raccoon eyes. But in some situations you'll see it, and it's really bad. And it's a shot that you really can't fix. I mean, it would take a whole lot. See, here's raccoon eyes here. Actually, a better example of raccoon eyes. It's just too much shadow under there. And just so you know, when I'm zooming in on this picture, I don't know what it's looking like over your camera, but you're going to look at it and you say, oh, it's blurry. Well, it's not. It just needs to take time because the image is so big, it needs to take time for it to process, and then once it processes, then it shows. So it should be like sharp. One of the things about this, like Sony a7R III is the camera that I'm using. I've used Canon for 9 years, and I switched over to Sony last year, and this camera is so sharp. Like, it's tack sharp. I'm shooting wide open f2.8, and most shots that I take are just dead on. And when I say dead on, like for us, dead on is you're looking at this background right here, you see all this blur, right? And then you look at her face, and you can let's let it go. You can count the number of, she has a little fake eyelashes, but you can count the number of eyelashes on her face. That's tack sharp. And then when you move back and you come down to her shoulder, and you can see she has a tattoo here. You can barely read the tattoo because it's blurry. So it goes from tack sharp on this eye. This is the closest eye to us, so that's the one that needs to be tack sharp. And then down to her shoulder where you can't even, it's a little blurry. Even her other eye on this side, if you look on this side right here, it's a little blurry. So that's what a tack sharp image is. All right, and I know I'm going way too much when it comes to photography. If you guys aren't this channel does focus on photography as well, and it's one of those deals where I don't care what camera you use. If you're traveling, you want to take good pictures, right? You want to take pictures that you can have for time and go back to them and say, oh, I took this picture and I really liked it. And so knowing the basic skills of photography is definitely something that you want to do or want to know. And then know when to use a flash. Like I was saying, use a fill flash, because like in this situation, I got raccoon eyes. And there's nothing I can do about it if the sun is, at its highest point. Now, the way I can change that is by, if I was doing a portrait of her, I would shoot at the optimal time. I shoot at sunrise or at sunset, because the sun is low. And when the sun is low, you're not getting harsh light. You're getting actually soft light. So that's how you avoid that. But you can't avoid it if it's a parade, and the parade is at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and it goes on until 5. You can't avoid it. This girl, I was trying to get her to look at me, but she didn't, so I wasn't able to get a picture of her looking up. That would have been a good shot if I did. I think that's the same girl. Yeah, and like I said, they're just dancing around the whole time. And you see, I think I flipped off this. This lady right here is like one of the handlers, so she's walking around making sure everyone's okay, and then giving them water and stuff like that when they need it. Okay, let's see. That's the same girl. Actually, it's the same girl, so she did look at me, but she had already gotten almost past me. So, and that's what you want. Like I said, it's kind of silly, but you want them. I mean, you want to do something so they see you, and so they will respond to you. Plus, sometimes they'll be walking and they're kind of dancing, but they're not really smiling. They're just kind of, not really happy. But when they see you excited and want to take a picture of them, then they get all excited and happy and everything. So it's kind of good. And you'll see, and I didn't notice this like when I first started, but they're looking for people to be looking at them and stuff like that. So I'm sure they off the audience, so that's good. Okay. There was only one girl that was coming down, and she stopped, because like the parade line will go for a ways and it'll stop, then it'll go for a ways and it'll stop. So, and it only stops because they have to wait for other people. They want to keep it all kind of uniform, right? They want to keep everyone in the same. They don't want people to be too far apart. So this one girl came and she stopped like in front of me, or she stopped in front of me. So I'm standing here and she stopped right here, but she could still turn around and give me a pose and get a shot. So I'm asking her like, Aki, like telling her, look over here, look over here. And there was a lady that was just kind of like watching the gate that was standing to my left. So she was like almost in front of her. And so she was like, Aki, like telling her to look. And she was just like, no, I don't want to look. She didn't want to be on camera. She didn't want a photo. Okay, obviously I messed up on this shot. And like I said, you have to understand they're moving. So they're doing all these different things and you're trying to shoot while they're doing that. So you're going to get a variation of different shots. And so, yeah, let's see. It moves a little better, so I have the fingers there off the screen. This one's not bad. That one's pretty good. And so sometimes it's just rapid fire, like plip, 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 like and try to get all the shots, and then you'll get all the different movements. So, yeah, we'll just get past that. Okay, so I'm yelling at her at this point, like, hey, Aki. And so she says, oh, okay. So she turns around and she gives me a pose. Actually, she's not looking at me. Wait, I think she is looking at me, but it's hard to tell. Some of them got by you. Yeah, she's looking at me. Some of them get by you and then they'll turn around. So some of the poses look it looks a little funny. Okay. And where else? Let's see. This girl here, she was looking at me. I edited this image. I'm going to change this edit, but yeah, I edited that one. Because there's a few pictures that I wanted to put up, like the thumbnails and all that stuff. So I was looking through and just editing some of the different pictures. So I'm going to move through this a little faster because it's taking me a lot of time. But see, like, this is a perfect shot. I love this because she's looking and she's having a good time. And yeah, it's a good shot. And like I said, it's tack sharp. The only issue is she has raccoon eyes. So if I'm going to work on this, I'm going to try to do the best I can to get rid of some of these shadows, just kind of even them out, put it in Photoshop and try to even out this this area here, just to take some of the raccoon eyes out. Just soften up just a little bit, but you can see like how sharp that is. Like it's getting the sweat beads off of her forehead. That's how sharp it is. So it would take me time to edit this, take a little bit of time, but I think it's a shot that's worth editing. Like it's a good picture, definitely. Okay, and then just so you know, I edited that one. So is this the one unedited? This is an unedited picture coming up, but it's not. I don't think I think it's right after this picture. So yeah, so you can see how dark it is here. It's even darker. Okay, and no flash of it. That's why I had that. That's why it was like that. Okay, this will take me a while, so I'm going to skip ahead, maybe pick a few different ones. Let me look at the chat real quick because I just want to know what's going on. Any questions? Okay, yeah, I'll come back to that, Nika, as far as camera stuff. Okay, this girl was fixing her hat, I think. I don't know, it just, I like the shot. For whatever reason. I don't know why I liked it, but I liked it. So, and this is a weird costume that this guy was wearing. Let me show you this one. So like I said, they wear some weird costumes as well. But for the most part, the guys are just walking. They dance a little bit, but they're not really the draw. Like they're not exciting. They don't, in my opinion, they weren't doing anything really exciting. So this girl's looking my way. She's smiling, having a good time. I think she poses. Yeah, she gives me her poses in the end here. So yeah, she gives me that one, but it's like, oh, I can't use that. Her fingers are off the screen, so then I back up just a little bit. All right, I open up the focus a little bit, and she gives me that. So that's a good shot. I like that one, and I like that her friends are back there laughing and looking as well. So that's good. And you see, actually, let me back up. You see this girl here. So in the background, you see this girl. Actually, she was in the other shot. In the background, you see this girl here. She's going over to the rail, and she's hugging someone. She might be doing a selfie. I'm not sure. I can't really see. But they'll do that. Like if you tell them to come over and you have like your phone up, then they'll come over and they'll do a selfie with you. So that's pretty cool. I didn't do selfies, but that's nice that they do that. So that's, yeah, this is the same shot. So this is not edited, and this one is. And I didn't make, now with this shot, there's more edits that I would do to it. But I just wanted to fix her. She's a little off, like she's kind of slanted, and she's still a little slanted. So I would even fix it a little bit more, just correct it a little more, just the crop, just to move it up a little bit. And if you see, if I go to the next one, you'll see she's off a little bit more to the side here. So I would just fix it up a little bit. Let's see. We'll move on. So we have another girl. I love this shot because they're both at me and they're both only one's in focus though. This one's in focus. This is the one I was focusing on, so she's not in focus, but it still looks good that they're both looking. I like that shot. All right, moving along. So that's kind of the same shot of those. I probably shot 2 or 3 of the same. Love this shot here. I did edit this one coming up. So she's kissing the camera, or kissing me. So she's blowing a kiss. So that's the edited version. And when I edited, this is like a quick edit for me. So anything that I put in print, like that I want to sell, or something that I'm going to use, like in a professional manner, like I'm going to put it up on my channel or anything like that, then I do more edits. I'll do extensive edits. So I would get rid of this arm. This arm doesn't need to be in there. And I would, there are things that I would fix, and like even her, like her face, there's stuff that I would fix on her face. Get rid of this right here and this down here. Just really soften everything up and just make it a real professional shot. So that's what I mean when I say edit. So this is a good shot, just a quick edit. Yes, the lighting is good, all that, but there are certain things that I would take out of the image, and then I would crop it probably in a different way. And it would frustrate me that this little feather is coming off here, so I would probably adjust that a little bit by shortening it so it looks like the feather doesn't go that high. Just different things like that. It gets crazy. It gets crazy to really work. And even a step further, I would probably Let's see. Yeah. See, I missed her hand here, but you should never miss a hand on a joint. So if you miss the hand, miss it further up the arm. Don't miss it at the joint. So I would probably crop it up just a little bit higher. I don't know if I would do that or not, because I like the garment. I like what she's wearing, and I like that you could see what she's wearing here. If I crop it up even higher, you're not going to be able to see all that. So I might not even do that. Okay, so let's move forward here. I'm going to move a few. I'll just go to the poses and stuff just to show you guys, because this is going to take way too long to look at every image. But in the future, I will be doing edits and stuff like that. Maybe I'll do a stream where that's where you guys are coming because you want to see all the edits, and then spend a little bit more time. Okay, so this is a pretty good picture. I would definitely crop it, because all this doesn't need to be here. This is all dead space here, and this guy back in the background, yeah, I don't know. I like her, but the stuff in the background is kind of distracting. So I might, let's see. So that's another shot of the same, but it's just a little further down. Yeah, so we'll move forward. So she gave me a pose. That's a great shot. I like that shot a lot. That's a good one. So like I said, she's dancing. Like, they're dancing the whole time. They're looking at you, but they're moving, so you really have to be on it to get a good shot while they're moving. Yeah, so and a couple off the screen. That. And now, like I said, I'm going through these a little faster now because I don't want to bore you with all the shots. Not bad. I don't even know why I put that one in. Like, I already had that a star on that one. I mean, it's a good shot. It's a pretty girl and everything. It's just, I don't know. Like, the background is just not, it's not blurry enough so you can make out all the people. It's pretty distracting. So I would probably just make it a tighter shot on her like her face. Okay. Let's see, what's this all about? This one here. Okay, so that one's out of focus. You see, I totally missed it. I got like her feathers down here in focus, and everything else didn't come in focus. Don't know what was going on there. And that happens. If people are moving sometimes, when you're trying to focus on one thing, that area moves. She moves out of that area, and then you focus on the feathers, which that's what I did. So I took 2 shots right away, and that's what I got. Let's see. Now this one I can tell you already, I like the shot, but that messes it all up. That it's all half. It's half off. Yeah, so that shot's not going to work. Let's see. I love when they do this with their dress, where they're actually, she's just holding her dress up, but some of them will, swing the dress. I like when they do that because it looks pretty cool, especially as a shot. Okay, and they're holding candles here, but I didn't get the candles, so that misses the vast majority of the shot. So I didn't get the candle. So you have to understand too, when I'm shooting so close, like I have a zoom lens, if they get too close to me, then it's done. I can't do anything. I can't back up because I'm standing right on the rail. So I'm just kind of, it's not going to work. So this is a guy wearing a weird costume, so I had to get a picture of him. Pretty interesting looking costume. So that you'll have that. So those are pretty interesting to take pictures of the guys when they have these weird costumes. But for the most part, yeah, they don't have very much. It's not really. They don't have. I don't know. I don't go there to see guys and take pictures of them because they just don't have the. They're not what I'm looking for when it comes to photos. Okay, so just pictures of these little buggy things. Let's see here. Okay, she's dancing down the aisle. I like this shot. And I edited this one a little bit, so I did quick edits on this one. So she's walking down, she's dancing, she's looking this way, so that was good. Let's move forward here. And I'll come to your questions. Like I said, I can't see them right now, so I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know if anybody's watching right now. Everybody's gone. But it'll take 5 more minutes on the images, and then we'll come back, because it is. And like here, she's drinking water. So this handler is giving her some water. They were good about like making sure they were around them at all times, giving them water and stuff like that, which is good, because it's kind of, I mean, it just, you see them like dehydrating and stuff like that, and you know, like I feel bad, like, oh, this is crazy. So these shots here, all overexposed, but the beauty of editing is I can bring all this back into exposure. This one I didn't get the bottom of her foot, so it's not a good shot. Let's see, did I even get a good shot? But I can bring well, I don't know, what can I bring back? Let's see. Yeah, I can bring a lot of it back. So that's, went the wrong way. That's what you want when you're shooting like that's why people pay the big bucks for the cameras. I'm going to be honest with you. You get the quality, but then you also have a lot of correction that can be made. So you can go from a shot that's just way overexposed, and if you get too overexposed, you can't bring it back. When I say bring it back, I mean bring it back to the right exposure. If it's too overexposed, you're done. You're just going to get that. It's just going to be the picture's ruined. But if it's overexposed but not that much, then you can work on it. You can bring all this stuff back, and if I reset it, you'll see the difference. So this is not edited, but this is just, I brought the exposure back. And let's just do a reset here, and I'll show you what it looked like before. So you see all that blown out here. Okay, so you can bring all that information back. So that's the reason why you pay the big bucks for the good cameras that have a high dynamic range, where you can bring those images back in a lot of situations. All right, let's move forward here. She's looking, no, I think she is. They also had floats too, and we're getting to these. So they have these floats, and I'm taking it, and I don't know all the details, but I guess this is her name here, and she's like somebody famous. And so they come by, and they're always on the here, and then they'll have like a live band that's playing with them as they go through. So that's pretty interesting. But they definitely got the attention. Like anytime they would come through, everyone's yelling and all that good stuff. So, and I don't know exactly who she is, but obviously she's someone important, or some entertainer that people like, because everyone is yelling and screaming. And they also had entertainers that were walking too, because you see them walking with a group of people, and they have security around them, and then everyone is like wanting to get a selfie with them and all that. So yeah, they were someone important. And as a photographer, I'm always looking for that. Like I'm always looking for the audience. Like, what are they doing? What's the feedback? Like, are they responding? Like, are they excited? And then I look to see. That's what I'm looking for, because those are the pictures that I want to get. So this shot here, way overexposed. Not this one here, but look at that. I just completely blew that shot out. Don't know what I was doing. Oh, this is when I was, for whatever reason, I was working with my flash, and it wasn't working properly. If you do a high-speed sync, you can go over 250th of a second. Well, I was trying to do that, but it would reset every time every time I didn't take pictures for, like, the camera would reset, not the camera, but the flash would reset. So the flash would reset, it would drop my camera back down to 250th of a second, which was, in this situation, it wasn't, I needed to shoot a lot faster. I needed to shoot it, I was shooting like 2,000th of a second. So because of that, I'm shooting this, and it's just like a blown out shot. And I don't even think I can save this. I mean, it's still, yeah, it's going to look bad, even if I try to save it. Like, you just see the colors are just all messed up. And you still have blown out stuff here. So you're pretty much done with the shot. Like, that's what I'm talking about. When you blow it out, it just gets really weird looking. And yeah, I can't use that. The shot's gone. So it happens. Yeah, I don't think there's anything there. Let's move forward. Looks like I turned the camera. I took a couple of shots of the ground by accident. Let's see. Good shot here, maybe. All right, let's see this one first. Okay, so this guy was here, and I completely missed him. Don't even know where I focused. Focused on this guy's arm right here. That's where the focus went. So then you have this girl here, and I shot her way too close. You should be able to see this. Not a bad shot though, and if I cropped it the right way, I think it'd be a good shot. And then if I just lightened it up a little bit, just open up the shadows, just to make her a little softer looking, and then exposure, brighten her up just a little bit. I could work with that. The only thing is I don't like the fact that I took this off. Took her hat, cut it off. Okay, this girl here, I don't remember. She is looking my way though. Let's see what it is. Okay, it's a good shot. Oh, that's a good shot. The only thing is, oh, I missed the arm. I missed the arm. Okay, but you see how they look at you and have fun. Like this girl's looking, they're having a good time. But you have to kind of be out there, or they'll ignore you, because there are people yelling and everything, so they're giving them attention too. So if you can get them for a second or two, get a couple of shots, then you're good. Okay, so these are good shots. And like I said, a lot of them have their little pose, so when they do stop, they'll pose for you to take a picture. Let's see. All right, let's move. Move forward. They had the military there as well, the Navy, I think the Army. I did a video of that though. It's weird because I think I took a picture, but it was by accident because I was trying to do video of them. That was pretty impressive, having them walking by and they're beating the drums and stuff. This is a good shot of this girl, I believe. No, that was her arm off the screen. This one's probably a better one. Yeah, this is a good one. So this is one that I would just fix up a little. Actually, did I? Oh, this is not a good shot. Yeah, it's not in focus. Yeah. My shutter speed was too slow on this shot. Ah, that would have been a good shot. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, you can't really do anything about that. So this is another shot. But yeah, I wish I would have gotten that other one too. Okay, let's move forward. And a lot of these I'm looking at for the first time. Some of them I've gone through, but a lot of them I just, oh man, this would have been a great shot if I would have gotten her fingers in the shot. Oh, see that? You can see her face, the profile, the sun coming out. Oh man, that sucks. This because the sun was coming from this angle, and then I'm shooting this way. That's a great shot. Oh, I just missed her finger. And so then I get her finger in the next shot, but she's not looking this way, so it doesn't help. Let's see. You're probably saying, you are crazy about these pictures. What are you talking about? Yeah, this is a good shot too. This one I would zoom in a little bit more. We don't need to see all this here. That's not important. Okay. Here's a guy. Like I said, when they have these weird costumes on, some of them might get these pictures of these guys. That's a pretty weird costume, so yeah. All right, let's move forward. Okay, yeah, we're coming up on the last little group that I have in this shot. They were having a real good time. They were very energetic. Let's see, get closer. So you see, she's looking. Now, the shot, like, this is 200th of a second. You think 200th of a second is fast, but yeah, I got her eyes, I think. Hopefully I got her eyes in focus. But her hand is like a blur. Like you can see that's tack sharp there, which is good, but since she's moving, her hands are in motion, which isn't a deal breaker, but I like to kind of get that sharp. So I needed to shoot it faster. I just didn't. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple of good ones. I like these here. Matter of fact, these are probably going to be definitely a thumbnail at some point. So yeah, I like that shot. Okay, so I would have liked it more. You could see her face as well, but hey, that's a good shot though. And I got a few of them. Okay, here's another good shot. That's not a good shot because that one's out of focus, but I got another one, and I got the focus on that one. Actually, I didn't even nail the focus. There's a little soft, but it's a good shot. Like that's definitely something I can use. When I say if it's not tack sharp, I'm not going to print it, but this is something that I can use for a thumbnail or something like that because it's good enough for that. It's good enough for the web, but it's not good enough to actually print. Okay, there's a pose there. And like I said, like this girl really played with the camera. I mean, she was like dancing the whole time she was dancing. She was looking at the camera. So that's good. So you like to see. And it helps that I have this big camera because, like I said, they're more into it, I think, because of that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good shot or something like that. I don't know. These are professional, they're saying, I guess. This is interesting. Here, they had these guys walking around as well. Let's see. Let's move through it. So like this is overexposed, but I can bring it back. It's not too bright to where I can't bring it back. Okay, so let's move through these. And those. I just want to get closer to the end. I like this shot a lot. I just need to. I didn't get her whole head guard. It's hard to get the whole head guard, the whole heading in there and all that shot, but this is a really good shot. I like this one a lot. And I will. This is one that I haven't edited it at all, but this is one that I'll edit and fix it up. Because that's a. Oh man, what did I do here? Hold on a second. Oh, it started over. Let's move back. But that's a shot that I would definitely use. Now I got down lower, but see how it doesn't look right because she's so far down. You can't. That composition's bad. So there's no way I can get her whole head unless I turn it sideways in a portrait shot, which I should have done. But yeah, I couldn't get it in the other configuration. But I like this shot. I like the smile. It looks personable, like it's like a portrait shot. So that's something I'd use. And I think it's tack sharp. I hope it is. She has a face paint on. That's good. Let's see. It's gotta wait a second for it to load up to see how sharp it is. That's tack sharp. I mean, I'm telling you, I've never had a camera that can shoot this sharp. Like you could see like the sweat, the sweat on her face. That's how sharp it is. Yeah, it's amazing how sharp these cameras are. Okay, so let's just move on. See a couple more, and I will talk to you guys. I know Nika had a question about the software I use. I think we'll talk about that. This is a great shot as well. This is something I would come back to. Star on that one. Actually, made her star on this one too. Just while I'm here. And when I shoot a wedding, just so you guys know, when I shoot a wedding, it takes, like this one, I'm way off. I'm focusing on the fireman here. It usually takes me, it could take me easily 8 hours to edit. And usually those are quick edits when I shoot a wedding. So it does take a lot of time. I love this pose here. I like this, what she's wearing and everything. It looks good. And she gave me a few shots, but I just want to kind of skip through most of them. But everybody's having a good time. And I'll post a lot of these pictures. I'm going to put it on my website, on the Travel Explore Click website. And so the majority of the pictures I'll put them there. I'm going to kind of, I'm going to put some on there, but then I'm also going to put some, like, I got on, I don't know if you guys ever look at 500 pics. 500 pics is like that's where you have some of the best photos on the web are on 500 pics. So I put Barranquilla, Carnaval de Barranquilla on there, and they didn't have any good pictures, like of the carnival. It was surprising to me, but no. So I'm going to definitely put some pictures up on there because I don't have anything good that represents the Carnival in Barranquilla. So I love these costumes that these girls are wearing. Let's see. Okay, we're almost done here. Let's just move a little bit faster. Okay. See, these are good shots. Real candid shots. Those are good. I like those. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to get that eye contact. You want them to look at you when you're taking the pictures because it just makes the shot that much better. If they're not looking at you, it really you don't feel like it's they're looking off somewhere, so it's just not a good shot. So that's, for me, my opinion. You want to get them to look at you. And those are the shots. And later on, when I was taking shots, I would only take shots if they looked at me. If they didn't look at me, I wasn't taking the shots. When I first started out, I was just clicking away at everything. This is a little underexposed, so I'd bring this up a little bit. But it's a good shot. Yeah, so that kind of, you know, in the end, and next year when I shoot, they're gonna all be looking my way. I'm not gonna take a shot unless they're looking, because it just changes the whole dynamic of the photo. And they're smiling. Like when they look at you, they're gonna smile, or they'll smile because, or they'll be embarrassed and they'll smile, like that nervous smile thing. Okay, let's move forward. And I like these shots. I did see these. And some of them out of camera, like I knew, oh, I got a good shot. So I already knew that in a lot of these shots. So I like this one here. These are good. And okay, let's move. A nice shot there. These guys here. Yeah, these guys are funny. So I got a shot at this guy, and then he's got another friend with them. You had a lot of these kids on the side, and they weren't part of the parade, but they just get costumes and they come out and they just run around with their costumes. Some of them would ask you for money. I didn't really have, like, all I had were big bills. I didn't have like coins and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't even know I wouldn't know what to give, like how much is what you would give a kid, because you don't want to give a kid too much, and then he's going to go tell all his friends, and all his friends are going to be chasing you down. So I don't even know what the correct amount would be. But these guys didn't ask for money, but some of them were like, they'd walk along the side of the parade, and then they would get selfies with people, and then ask for money. Or if you took a picture of them, then they would ask for money. Okay, so this is let's see here. So this is overexposed, but I can definitely fix this. This is not going to be, that won't be hard to fix at all. Just drop it down a little bit. But that's a nice shot of this guy. Yeah, you have the indigenous people in Colombia, so they have, you know, they dress like the indigenous people. This one's overexposed, but I can bring it back down. It's a perfect shot. She's looking right at me. And I took like 3 or 4 shots of the same thing, only because I just had the shutter, held the shutter down. So I took a few extra shots. But yeah, these are good. And they're too bright, but I'll just bring them down a little bit and they'll be fine. But she's a beautiful girl, so definitely. She had a tattoo. It's like a butterfly or something. That's pretty much it, I think. It's another shot. Okay, yeah, these are the last, this is the last group. Okay, so this one was really good because I'm waving, and this is like the leader. Like, these are the two, like, I don't even know what you call them, but they're in the middle and they're walking through, and then the parade is following them, like the group of their parade is following them. So they're doing like the dances and all that stuff, and so I'm waving, and so she sees me, I get eye contact, and then she like taps her dance partner, and then they turn around and they do this little thing here. So it was pretty good, but you could see like she's looking right at me while they're doing it and everything. So let's take a second for this to load. It takes a long time. So like she's looking at me. I noticed a lot of these women, and like women, not just kids, but a lot of these women have braces. Like older women. Like, I don't know how old she is. She's got to be well in 25 to 30. But a lot of them have braces. So I don't know. Usually, like us, we get braces younger, but for whatever reason, it seems like they get braces into their 20s and 30s. Let's see. So let's breeze through. We're almost to the end. Yeah, we only have a couple more pictures. I really like this shot. I like the energy that she's showing there. That's good. So that was definitely a keeper. And I already looked at these. And what I do when I get the images, I put them in my computer, and then I'll just go through, and I won't look at each image. I'll just kind of look at the images that look good in a little thumbnail, and then I'll click on those just to make sure, oh, okay, yeah, that's a good shot. Let me put a star on that one. So I'm not looking at every image like I almost did here, because you see it takes a long time to go through all these. All right, this is another good shot. I'll have to work on that. The only thing is it might not be in focus because there's some blurriness down from movement here, so I'll just have to check it. All right, that's it. So let's jump back. Hopefully people are still here. Yeah, I didn't think this would take this long, but I apologize. I apologize. So let me just go over a few questions, and then we'll be done. Yeah, so we have a few questions here. So yeah, as far as the Carnival, I had a good time. Okay, so I will be going back next year, and like I said, I'm going to set it up. I'm really looking into doing like some type of photography group, like a tour thing, because I think that would be fun. I think, like I said, I think they're underrepresented. There's only everybody left. I think it's underrepresented, and so it's definitely something that I would want people to be able to see. All right, so let me answer a few of these last questions, and then we'll go ahead and go. I hope I didn't drop the stream through here. Hopefully I didn't. So let's see, Nika. So Sony A7R3 is what I have. So it's the A7R3. It's not the A7R. So the A7R was the first version. So this is the latest version of the A7R series. Okay, that looks dope. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nika. What software do you use? I use Lightroom. I use Lightroom, Photoshop, and what's it called? Ooh, man, Color Effects Pro. Color Effects Pro. Something. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. No, it's not called that. I can never remember the name of it. But anyway, there's Color Effects Pro on, there's Define, there's all these different little add-ons, and I use those as well as, but mainly I put it in Lightroom. I do quick edits in Lightroom. Then if I need to make some major edits, I shoot it over to Photoshop. I make those edits in Photoshop, and then I bring it back into Lightroom. And then if I want to make additional edits, like something specialty, maybe some HDR or anything like that, then I can send it over to the add-ons, and I'll use those. Let's see, how did you learn to edit? I really kind of taught myself, like not taught myself. I got online and I got information from like YouTube and stuff like that, and then I went and I took a photography school, and I only did it for like 6 months. It's like it's what's the name of that school? God, I don't have any information for you guys. It was just like an adult school kind of thing. It was like it was a college. It was a junior college, and they had like their own they had a big photography department. And in Southern California, they're pretty well known. And so I went there. I did 6 months. I didn't get like any degree or anything in it, but I learned enough to start, taking pictures and stuff like that. So I learned the fundamentals on YouTube. I went there to kind of shape my photography, to kind of figure out composition and all that, and just to see it in practical use. Like we'd go on workshops and stuff like that. And then from there, I've just been doing all this stuff on my own. There's a lot of information on YouTube though that you can learn how to edit. They teach you a lot of this stuff. But it's not really about editing is part of it, but the big part of it is just knowing how to how to get the right composition, how to know what picture's good, know what picture's good and what picture's not. And a lot of that stuff you're going to have to learn the hard way, maybe getting into competitions and things like that, and then actually going to the competition and having them review your image while you're sitting there in the audience. Like people don't know people don't know it's your image, but they see the image and then they'll critique it in front of you. It's tough. Like if you're really an artist, it's tough to sit there and have people criticize your work, especially if you're putting it in a competition, you really think it's good, and you sit there and you Usually they don't just tear it apart completely, but they will give criticism and they'll try to find some of the positives. But it is tough, and yeah, it's pretty tough, but it helps. It helps you learn. Let's see, Braveheart, subtag, what's going on, Braveheart? Okay. All right, so looks like I scared everybody away. So I didn't mean to do that with all the video, or all the pictures. And I know there were a lot, and next time I will have it better set up. I'll just have less pictures, and we'll go through them that way. I'm hoping everything went well as far as the stream. I don't really know because I wasn't really watching it for the second half, so I'm hoping it didn't like drop out everyone for whatever reason. So we'll have to see, because I'm using the software now. I'm using Lightroom and having the stream go at the same time, so we could have had some issues with that. I don't know. I won't know until after I watch the video. So I'm hoping that wasn't the case. But anyway, I will be going to Medellin tomorrow. I'm going to finish packing right now, and I'll do at least 1 or 2 live streams. I have more free time, so I can have some time to actually sit down and do some live streams. So I'm hoping to do 1 or 2 live streams when I'm out there. But thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a like. And please subscribe if you're new to the channel, because I do live streams every Sunday. This Sunday, I'm hoping to do a live stream. If I have the time and all that, and I'm not doing something else, I will be in another, I'll be in Medellin, so I want to experience Medellin for the second time. So I might, we'll see. I'll try to do my best to get on. If I can't, then definitely the Sunday after that I'll be home, so I'll be able to get on. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.